In a world full of uncertainties, where our plans don't always come to fruition, there is a greater wisdom that guides our steps. Today, on Tradition Zen, we'll dive into an inspiring story about faith, resilience, and the plans that go beyond our understanding. A journey of survival, hope, and the discovery that even in the ashes there is a greater purpose. Join us and be inspired. The ship was destroyed, and all the passengers on board drowned in the sea, except for one man. By divine grace, he somehow survived and reached the shore. After some time, when he regained consciousness and opened his eyes, he realized he was alone on a deserted island in Thailand. As soon as he woke up, the man began praying to God, saying, "Oh God, please help me. Send me some help." Days passed, but no help arrived. He spent his nights sleeping on the beach. The next day, when he woke up, he prayed again, but still, nothing happened. As the days went by, the man gradually began to accept life on the deserted island as his fate. Determined to survive, he started collecting wood and grass to build a shelter. He gathered some items he found from the shipwreck and stored them in his small refuge. He began surviving by eating coconuts and fish he found on the island, and so he started living day after day in his shelter. One day, while lighting a fire to cook, he stepped away for a moment. When he returned, he saw that his shelter was on fire. Devastated by the destruction of his only home, he looked up at the sky, filled with anger, and began questioning God, saying, "Oh God, I asked you to send me help, but you didn't listen to my prayers. I built a shelter here to live, and you burned it too. You are so cruel." He was deeply disappointed and spent the night complaining to God until he finally fell asleep on the beach. The next morning, he was awakened by a loud noise. When he opened his eyes, he saw that a ship had arrived on the island. He could hardly believe his eyes and was overjoyed that help had finally come. He boarded the ship, which soon set sail. Once on board, the man asked the captain, "How did you know I was stranded on this deserted island?" The captain replied, "We saw a fire signal coming from the island. We realized someone was there, so we came to rescue you." The man, confused, said, "But I didn't send any fire signal." The captain insisted, "But we only came here because we saw the fire signal." It was then that the man remembered his burning shelter. He realized that the fire signal the captain was talking about was, in fact, the fire that destroyed his shelter. He understood that it was part of God's plan to save him from the deserted island. He realized that God's plans are greater and wiser than his own. Filled with gratitude, he began thanking God. If we look at our lives, we will see that we make many plans, but what we want doesn't always happen. Often what occurs is not what we chose. We try to understand life's events with our limited minds, and when trouble strikes, our faith wavers, our patience wears thin, our hope fades, and we start complaining to God. However, in times like these, we must keep our faith in God and try to overcome adversity. In a world of over 7 billion people, God has a purpose and a plan for each of us. We must keep doing our part, maintaining faith in the Almighty without giving up. Our efforts combined with God's blessings can get us through any trouble. Therefore, whenever you feel like your plans are failing and everything is going against your wishes, remember that perhaps God has a different plan for you, and His plans are always greater, bolder, and better than any plan you could ever make for yourself. And so, dear viewers, we conclude this journey of overcoming and faith. Remember, even when all seems lost, there is a greater plan at work. At Tradition Zen, we believe that the wisdom of stories can guide us through life's storms. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more reflections and inspiring stories. Let us know in the comments what you learned from this story. Until the next video, where we'll continue exploring the beauty of tradition and spiritual connection. Peace and light to all.